Hated to love it, the underdogs on top. And I'm gon' shine, homie, until my heart stop. Go ahead, envy me. I'm Raps MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so you keep the underdogs on top. The underdogs on top. Go ahead, envy me. The underdogs on top. And I ain't going nowhere, so you keep hitting on it.
Rockin' like the
Rockin' like a 6 on top. Whole club rockin' like a 6.
rockin' like the
Rockin' like a 6 on top. Whole club rockin' like a 6. Rockin' like a 6 on top. The underdogs on top.
rockin' like the
Rockin' like a 6 on top.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Off the Bench podcast. My name is Jim Cross. No Daniel Ball, no Ava Garza. Doesn't matter. I'm absolutely fired up. We're going to get to talk Oregon baseball. We're going to get through that with Jack Brooks. But before we do, got to plug the sponsors. Chinook Seedery, 8 flavors, mild to wild, the best sunflower seeds in the game. Old Dominic Distillery in the heart of downtown Memphis. Vodka, bourbon, whiskey, gin. They got it all. And then, of course, our friends over at Jesus One Apparel, John 16:33, empowering young men and women to be bold in their faith. If you haven't seen it, you got guys like Mike Trout, Connor Griffin, repping the brand. It's doing big things. And so go on to JesusOneApparel.com. Use IOTB20 as your code. Save 20%. 15% goes to local ministries. Also with that, use that IOTB15 code on the Chinook Seedery. But the bills have been paid. Jack, my man, how we doing?
Doing well. Glad to be on the show. Looking forward
Absolutely,
to it.
man. Like I told you beforehand, big fan. I love a guy who lays it all out on the line. Like I said, there's nothing to not love about Oregon. Wish we got to see more of you guys. But before we get into all things Oregon, man, we got to find out about you. So where are you originally from?
Yeah, I'm from Vacaville, California, Northern California, and made my way up to Eugene.
So if I go to where you're from in California, what's like the one thing I must do or one place I must eat? Like what's the spot?
We got the outlets where I'm from, so we have it's called the Nut Tree, but it has, I mean, any store you want to go to, clothing, apparel wise, that's kind of the place to be in Vacaville.
There you go. What about food wise? What's the you got any spots that nobody knows about?
I'm a huge ice cream guy. Fenton's Creamery. It's in that Nut Tree Plaza that I'm talking about. By far best ice cream I've ever had.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be having ice cream for a while. I tell you, Jack, we replicated a picture in Starkville. Me and my son. It was almost 2 years to the date, but I had surgery on my shoulder. Had to change medications because I previously had thyroid cancer, a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, point being, man, put on 45, 50 pounds over the past 2 years. And when you put the picture side by side, us doing the same pose around the same thing, man, it hurt my feelings. And so things like ice cream are not fixing to be a part of my arsenal anymore until I get this off. But if I do get back to where I was, a place like that sounds perfect.
Place to go.
All right, so got to know, this is important. West Coast kid, man, who was your favorite athlete growing up?
Brandon Crawford. Grew up a Giants fan. Started out as a shortstop all throughout like Little League, going into high school ball, everything like that. It was always Brandon Crawford. I mean, I loved everything he did. He was just, a wizard in the infield. So
yeah, we commented on a post on social media the other day that just made me laugh. They were talking about they were showing the San Francisco fans, and they were showing, San Francisco after they won a game, and they're talking about, Tony V brings this vibe, and I'm a Tony V guy. He's been on the show a couple times, but we're like, San Francisco's always been that way. Like, what are we talking about? This is a team with lots of World Series appearances. And, you talk about guys like Crawford and, the Bumgarners of the world. And it's like, bro, that vibe has been there.
Yeah. No, they got a good squad. And that's who I grew up watching, him and Buster Posey. And that's kind of what started my whole, love for playing the infield started with that.
That's a good team to watch for sure. Who would you say is your personal biggest influence growing up when it comes to the game of baseball?
I would honestly say my dad, probably. He's always been in the picture with me of just like being there for me no matter what. Coached me since I was little all the way up through travel ball, all the way into basically high school when he stopped. And I think he's my biggest influence just because, the way that he motivates me and pumps me up. Still to this day, I'll go back home and he goes to the gym with me to work out. I love being around him. And I think that's what's kept me playing the game for so long, is just to make him proud and kind of pay it back to what he's done for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kid from Cali ultimately ends up in Eugene, Oregon. Was it one of those things that you looked particularly on the West Coast? You wanted to stay on the West Coast, or, was Oregon just, man, a place that just once you saw it, there was no turning back?
Yeah, Oregon was always pretty much a dream. I have an older brother who played football, and I mean, Oregon Ducks to him was the holy grail. So he always talked about Oregon Ducks. Had Oregon Ducks gear when I was a little kid. I knew about it. Played with them in like NCAA football stuff like that. So like, always knew the brand, always knew the logo. And then when I finally got the opportunity to talk to Coach Martyr, pretty much right as he offered me, I sealed the deal for me.
Yeah, so you talk about the football, we talk about the uniforms, we talk about the atmosphere. You're only the fifth Oregon guest we've had out of the 900 we've had, but man, it's been a while. So just remind me, man, how awesome of a place is it? Talk to me about whether we're talking about nature and its beauty or we're talking about the football games, just how awesome Eugene is.
I mean, Eugene's great. It's a college town. I mean, everything's centered around the university, which is amazing. And I mean, football is on the highest pedestal of whatever they have, they kind of get, or whatever they want, they kind of get. I mean, going around just all the facilities that we have, it's beautiful. It's like the first time I came here, I was absolutely amazed at like what they have over there, and especially they're making a new football facility, which I mean, it's all like indoor practice fields, glass dome over the top of it, facial recognition to get in the building. It's going to be insane. But I mean, it's a true blessing just to be around this stuff all the time, and blessed with whatever we need, we get. And I mean, aside from the fact of like just the facilities, I mean, being out in Eugene is perfect. I mean, you're with the trees, you got the lakes next to you. Weather's starting to get nice, so you're outside a lot more in the sun. It's beautiful.
Yeah, nice. Like we were talking about, gotta check it out. And as far as facilities, I've seen it. Y'all got plenty of nice stuff. May not be what football has, but hey, you get that title. You never know. Things might change. They'll find a way to upgrade what little things they got left to upgrade.
Definitely.
So freshman year you redshirt. But we talked to so many guys, man. They talk about they learn so much in that year. They learn about themselves. They learn about the game. For you, what was the biggest thing you were able to take a step back and learn from redshirting?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I'd like understand now when I was going through it, or I understand now that I didn't understand when I was going through it, was like I wasn't ready. I was a smaller guy coming into college. I mean, 175 pounds, 5'10", not very physical. I was a little bit twitchy, had a little bit of that like wiry strength, but other than that, I wasn't physically ready to compete with. I mean, seniors and fifth years going into from that COVID year. So I think that year was like a really big time for me to kind of just step back, realize that I may not be on the field, but I'm still could be the best teammate possible for these guys when they're coming to play at home. And then also know like practice is basically my game. I mean, that was like when I had to put on a show, I would go out there pretty much, I mean, laying out for any ball I possibly could, trying to make the hardest plays look routine. That was my game. So I think that redshirt freshman year just kind of gave me a better perspective of where I was as a baseball player, and it's kind of led me into where I'm at now, which I'm truly thankful for.
Well, I love that mindset and attitude, and we got a lot of young listeners that pay attention to the show, and so them to hear from you, hey man, take the opportunity to put in the grind on that practice, treat it as a game, build yourself up. You obviously talked about the weight. You obviously got to hit the weight room, put on the muscle, and obviously we see how it pans out. The last 2 years, you've gradually earned more and more playing time, increased those reps. Coming into this season, man, you're killing it. Like, how are you feeling individually about yourself coming off, as you've gotten better each individual season?
Yeah, I'm just really happy with where I'm at. I'm happy that I was able to like stick it out and stay here, and now like my opportunity has finally come, which is, I mean, it's a true blessing. But I mean, it's still playing the same game that I played in high school. I'm not trying to treat it any different than that. It's just playing baseball, the game I've always loved, and it's taking the highs and the lows and not making them any different, making them completely equal, and just trying to stay on like an even path throughout this whole thing. But it is truly like a dream come true. Like when I freshman year, I was dreaming of playing every single day, and now that I am, it's just awesome.
Well, speaking of highs, I mean, you find yourself on Sports Center highlight reels all the time. You're a human highlight reel yourself. Talk about that aspect. Some guys do not prioritize defense. You're clearly not one of them. You love what you do. You love laying your body out on the line, man. Just talk about how much fun it is patrolling center field out there.
Yeah, it's a great time. I mean, I moved from the infield after my sophomore year and just kind of basically been primarily outfield now since I ended sophomore year, about like beginning of season sophomore year. And I mean, outfield just kind of where I can kind of let my speed really go. That's one of my biggest like attributes. So like letting my speed kind of play, and then just doesn't really matter what's out there. I try to run into the wall as much as possible and make the highlight reel plays, just because it's just like playing as I
we got to
was.
talk about your coaching staff out there because, I think about a guy like Anson Aros that we had on this show, like played catcher. And then next thing you know, he's in the outfield making these ridiculous catches. Like y'all got something going on with that. The coaching staff is able to take guys and make them to be elite outfielders.
Definitely. I think it's the way we go about our practice. I think every practice that we're going through, BP wise, like we're not taking reps off. If a ball is diveable and it's in an arm's reach length or an arm's length away from you, Waz wants it caught. So that's like we're practicing diving all the time, going up against the wall pretty hard, trying to make that play over the fence. Just if our pitcher's going to put everything on the line, like we might as well as defenders. So we're out there trying to get better, so we're better for those guys.
Yeah, no, and I love to see it. Because I was a football player, not a baseball player, but I played the defensive side of the ball. And so I've always been a defense wins championship kind of mentality guy. And so I love great pitching and I love defense that lays themselves out. So I love to see what you do out there. Let's talk about the team for a second, man. Obviously 33-11, y'all are the real deal playing super exciting ball. You got teams like UCLA at UCLA up on deck. What's the vibe of the team right now? I mean, got to be feeling good.
Yeah, we're definitely feeling good. I mean, our culture is so tight. I mean, all the guys like really like each other, enjoy being around each other all the time, which I think makes it to be enjoyable on a winning team. We all have the same goal in mind, is to go to Omaha at the end of the year. So, with that being said, it's just we're taking every day one day at a time. We're not really worried about UCLA coming up. We're just kind of worried about practice tomorrow, and then we got UW on Friday. So it's one day at a time. But it's honestly really been enjoyable. We love all the guys on our team. We're all very tight together. We're around each other 24/7. So it's kind of good that we're all getting along so well. But it's just we love to win, and that's kind of what we've been brought up as. And now we're doing a pretty good job of that. So we can't complain too much.
Yeah, no, and I only bring up the UCLA thing because a lot of people feel like UCLA has been able to skate by, and they feel like Oregon will be a true test for them. And I feel like it's the same way, back and forth. It's a chance for Oregon to prove, that they're the real deal. You go knock off UCLA, it's going to catch everyone's attention. Obviously, you're up there in the rankings, but rankings are what they are, and people want to see evidence, and so I think it'll be a great opportunity. I will ask about another series that y'all get to do. You don't get to play the actual series itself; you get to play it through midweeks. But you've been there, years now. Talk about when you get to play Oregon State and like what that rivalry's like.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, every crowd is sold out. When you go there, you got 5,000 Oregon State fans that are chirping you the whole time, and so it's a good crowd to play in front of, just because that rivalry is real. We take everything. It's not a different game, but it does mean a little bit more, I think, at times, just because you want to own Oregon, and I think that's the team to beat. So going into there and playing those guys, it's just fun. You get to play in front of a crowd that hates you, and I think that's the best part, because you can go out in there and silence that crowd and show that you're the best team in Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas and Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Oregon State, like those specific ones where you're battling for state pride, like supremacy, like it means more, and that's why I try to make those kind of series as much as I can. Obviously, I haven't made that one, made the other two, and I talk about the travel. If there's one to make, obviously that's the one to make. I want to hear all the chirping, and then my team's not involved, so I don't got to chirp back. I can just listen ways. If there's anything I've learned on these years, do not go to certain road environments when your team's involved. Just go to a neutral when it's a neutral game, and then you don't have to get involved in any of that, because I went to some places and had massive regrets having to hear the chirping get way too much, and it's like, all right, man, I've had enough. I got to get out.
I get it.
But got two questions that are always Ava's two favorites. Still going to ask them even though she's not here. Important around the elements of baseball. First, she feels the walk-up song is important. If you don't have a good walk-up song, something that the fans can vibe with, you're doing it all wrong. So for you, what is your walk-up song? And second, why did you choose that song?
So we got three different ones. My Friday one is Kiss Kiss by Chris Brown. That's kind of more of just trying to get the crowd going. Saturday, I got Country Girl by Luke Bryan. and then Sunday I got She's Country by Jason Aldean.
Nice.
The
Yeah, I
three,
like that y'all do 3 different ones. Like,
yeah,
that's not every school. You're only like the third school that I know of that actually actively does that.
yeah, they give us quite a bit of grace with that, which is really nice. I mean, we kind of we go by different genres on the weekends. Fridays kind of be like our R&B, like rap playlist day. That's more for like a crowd, and then the next two are just kind of whatever you want. And I'm a huge country fan, so I try to stay with country as much as possible, but also give the crowd something to bop their head to while I'm going up there.
See, I can get down with country, but it's like this past weekend on Friday night, I was at LSU at Mississippi State, and every Mississippi State player across the board had country, and so there was no like that upbeat song that got the crowd really into it. I think one of my favorite was like 2024 Tennessee when I went and visited them in Knoxville. Like it was such a good variation. You had like 80s rock, you had rap, and then you had country, and like it was just all mixed up. And no two songs that went back to back made sense together, but it was fun because it was a variation. Like if you just hammer like 9 straight country songs, like, man, like I need something upbeat here.
Yeah, we definitely have some variety with it. Like we have Junior Lewalki. He's got some pretty good like Hawaiian music that goes on. And then our pitchers when they come out, you don't know what they're gonna have, but it's always pretty good.
I feel like if I was coming out of the bullpen, these guys who come out with the heavy metal or the hard rock type stuff, like I always feel like that's the way to go. Like it's kind of setting the tone. I actually I clipped the Mason Miller for the Padres. I know you saw that when he came out to Corn, and I had put it on our YouTube for at the time. It was like right when it came out. Anyway, it ended up having like 280,000 views, and I didn't even mean for that. Wasn't like trying to get a bunch of views off of it, but people commenting just talking about how electric it was, and it was like, man, like that's a song, but it helps like. They got the light show and everything with it, stuff that you're not going to get with the college element, right? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I like your lineup, but we got to talk uniforms now. And this, I was really interested for her to hear this one because she talks about a lot of them, and we ended up doing. I put the top 8 uniform kits I believe that there are, in my opinion, and then let her vote for them head to head. Oregon ended up finishing 3rd out of the 8. I was going to let you, state your case, but since she's not here, and I do that. But I do want to ask which one's your favorite, and I made a little graphic here.
I'm a huge fan.
All of them, so you can see them on you.
Yep, I love it. I'm a huge fan of like the plain, just green tops, the white pants. I think that's like a really like clean look. I mean, I'm most comfortable in it, but I think our best looking ones would have to probably be our throwbacks. I think the little like tan we have going on, and just kind of like the symbolism of it. I think it's just kind of
that's my favorite one. But I mean, I like all of them, and I like the use of like whether we're talking about black or gray or the other colors. That's one of the problems. Like when you got traditional schools, we were just talking about with our Ole Miss guest earlier. Even though I love Ole Misses and I love LSU's, they're so traditional and they won't add any extra colors in. So you're never going to get a black uniform per se. Or you're never going to get, the color matching tops and bottoms except for the powder blues that Ole Miss has. And so I love that, and you expect it from Oregon being the Nike school, right? It got all the swag in the world, got the best football uniforms you could ever think of. No way it's not crossing over into baseball.
Yeah, we got some good variety for sure. We're pretty blessed with that.
What do you like when y'all have the old duck logo on there? I don't know if y'all have it on this year's.
I don't think we've had it this year, but in the past, I'm a pretty big fan.
I'm a fan of that one. I would rock that one. I actually had a buddy. I was collecting hats for when I was going places, and I was going to see you guys. I think it may have been last year, but I think it was the year before last when y'all were in Texas, and I went and seen y'all, and I wanted a hat, and he bought me one that had that old school logo on there.
Gotcha. Have you seen the Grateful Ducks uniforms that we just came out with last week?
Yes.
That was, those cleats, the Sabrina and Eskies were pretty top tier.
I mean, you talked about it, like coming up as a kid, like I wasn't an Oregon fan, but I was an Oregon fan, like in the sense of like you saw their uniforms and I just want to root for them. Like it's so elite. But before you get out of here, we play a game with every guest. I took it easy on you and our guest earlier. I've been playing a lot of blind rankings or King of the Hill. Okay. But keeping it simple, going throwback, this or that. So you get 2 options. You choose one or the other. Just can't choose both or neither.
Gotcha.
So keeping it simple out the gate, are you a coffee guy or an energy drink guy?
Energy drinks.
What's the go-to?
Right now, Ghost. I'm going with grape Ghost.
Let me ask you this. Do you see, I didn't see until the other day. I typically don't get to watch pitchers pregame regiment, but when I was at Mississippi State, I watched Gavin Guidry for LSU. He drank his energy drink right before he did his warm-up and then went out and pitched. Like, I feel like that's too close to when you're going to pitch to be like drinking an energy drink. Am I wrong? Like, when do you usually do yours?
I'm a before BP guy. I can't
That's
do it
what I
right before the
thought.
game. I feel way too jittery, but like before BP kind of gets me through the game, and then I'll be fine. But I can't right before the game. I feel
Yeah, I feel like you get
way
overly
too
amped.
jittery.
It mess with your heart a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, crunchy tacos or soft tacos?
Crunchy tacos.
All right, this one's a fun one. I don't get to ask every guest this. Would you rather hit a home run or rob a home run? And when I say rob, I mean we talking over the fence.
Probably going Rob.
I mean that's got something I wouldn't know. I wasn't a baseball player, and I played some slow pitch softball with the boys and hit a bunch of nukes, but I ain't never been able to put my glove over that fence and take it away from somebody. And I could only imagine it's just a fun feeling.
Yeah, if you want to get on Sports Center's top 10, that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Now you got to do like these Savannah Bananas. You got to cut you a backflip while you're out there.
Try to do something new.
All right. If you can go to any concert, bucket list concert, anywhere, see whoever you want, or you can go to any sporting event anywhere, see whoever you want. Which one you going, concert or sporting event?
Sporting event.
What's the sporting event you're going to?
John Jones. I want to see him fight in the octagon.
Nice.
Yep.
I like that. Don't get enough UFC answers. All right. Who would you rather have as a teammate now with how they're currently playing, age, everything? Would you rather have Mike Trout, the old man Trout, who seems to be finding his prime, or would you rather have Bobby Witt Jr.?
I'm going to have to stick with the GOAT, Mike Trout.
It's the right answer. I was hoping you would as a center fielder, but I don't know. Bobby Witt turns a lot of heads.
He is. I mean, he's doing well, but Mike Trout's my outfield GOAT, so I got to stick
Mike Trout changes again. So I work for Jesus One Apparel on top of doing the podcast, and he has worn the hoodie before every single game so far this year, literally every, and he has gotten millions upon millions of views. The actual page has gotten thousands upon thousands of new followers, and it's like, and when you look at him and you define the word aura and you watch him walk in that hoodie on the practice field before the game, it's like that is it, right? And so it's like when the GOAT is wearing your stuff, it's like we just can't do any better than that right now.
Can't. He's the best.
All right, now to the hard question. All right, would you rather do 5 years in jail or 10 years in a coma?
Probably 5 years in jail.
You go by quicker, and then you wake up from the coma. They talk about, well, it's just a nap, but you wake up and you're in your 30s, and that ain't no fun either. So it's never really a good option between either. But I'm with you. Like, prison definitely is gonna suck, but I'd rather just get it done in half the time.
Yeah, and while I'm in there, I can find some stuff to do, work out, read.
Yeah, you can definitely put on that weight you were looking to put on.
Definitely.
Hey, if there's a game that we've ever seen in movies that makes it into prison, there's always baseball some way, somehow.
Yeah.
All right. Last question, the money question. If I was to offer you $10 million, bring you a duffel bag with $10 million, hold cold hard cash, and I say, hey, you can take this $10 million or you can win a national championship this year. Which one you taking?
Taking the Natty.
All day, every day.
No hesitation.
I used to try to convince people, but after Paul Skeens came on this show, after winning getting drafted with the first pick and getting a $10 million signing bonus, and he said he'd give the bonus and his pick back and keep his national championship, who am I to argue anymore? Because that guy said you can't replace those blood, sweat, and tears.
I mean, our head coach Watts is the same exact story. He won the national championship, and there was a guy, I think it was 2 years before him, that didn't, but got picked. Waz didn't get drafted. The guy before him got drafted in the first round, and he said he would give up being drafted to go win the Natty. So I'll stand by winning the Natty any day of the week.
Yeah, it's one of those bittersweet feelings. We've talked to some of these guys and some of these programs, whether Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, Tennessee, like your recent winners, and we've had guys on that were on the team like for the 2 or 3 previous years prior to winning championship, and we're a part of building that culture and building that team, right? And we try to tell them, you're basically part of that championship team, and even though we say it, they don't believe it, and they know they don't have the hardware to match it. So it's definitely a bittersweet feeling because you did really help that culture and did help build that team, but you don't have the hardware, and it's a crappy feeling knowing that you were just that close.
Yeah.
Well, that is the hot seat. You are off. Before I let you go, anything you want to plug or promote for those out there listening?
No, I mean, go Oregon baseball. Keep up with us. It's going to be a good season. Hopefully, most of you guys watching, you come see us in the national championship when we're there, and go Ducks, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, I want y'all to host, so y'all have a path to Omaha. So the only way I'm going to see you is Omaha. So let's just make it happen. That way, I can watch you guys crank it out there. Have the unis we talking about on display. But man, I appreciate you taking your time. For those that don't know, we are West Coast early, Central late. So hey, but we make things happen for a guy like Jack. But we appreciate you taking your time, sharing your story. If you need anything, reach out, man. Wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me on the show. It was great.
Absolutely. That's Jack Brooks, everybody. If you like hearing his story or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, go on over to Instagram, YouTube, give us a follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We will be back next week. We will have Daniel. We will have Ava. We'll be better than ever. But remember, in the meantime, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.